Breaking news in the case of Serenity McKinney. First, we do want to let you know that as we continue with this story, the details are very disturbing. The little girl from Shelbyville, Kentucky, the medical examiner's report is now public, detailing just how the missing 4-year-old was found skeletonized, wrapped in plastic and stuffed into a suitcase.
When it comes to my granddaughter, there's no justice. There's no amount of time that anybody could serve that I would have any type of closure as far as that goes.
So hey guys, Bullhorn Betty here. We just got done doing a live for our morning coffee club. And so I'm sitting here going through some stuff as we start waiting for 3 trials to start. Larry Vallow Daybell is coming up. We've got the West trial that we can all listen to. We've got Letitia Stalk we can all listen to. So on the heels of all that, we were discussing Serenity McKinney. Some new information came out in her case. Look at this, and we'll be back here to discuss.
McKinney, please raise your right hand.
Catherine McKinney pleaded guilty Friday morning to charges of manslaughter, abuse of corpse, and tampering with evidence for her role in the death of her 4-year-old daughter, Serenity. She was initially charged with murder, but Commonwealth's attorney Bailey Taylor says the plea agreement is appropriate.
The definition of manslaughter that we applied in this case involves someone allowing a person under 12 to suffer sufficient physical injury that they are killed.
Serenity McKinney's body was found inside a suitcase in a wooded area near the Jefferson-Bullitt County line in February of 2022, a year after she was reported missing. Catherine McKinney was arrested along with her then-boyfriend Dakota Hill. McKinney claims both she and her daughter were abused by Hill, and it eventually led to Serenity's death.
Dakota Hill killed Serenity McKinney. However, Judge, even though they were both repeatedly and horrifically abused by Dakota Hill.
The Commonwealth's attorney will now turn the attention toward Hill, who is still charged with murder of Serenity McKinney. It's a case Catherine McKinney could be a witness for now.
Agreement we made in order to secure her testimony in the case involving Dakota Hill.
As part of McKinney's plea agreement, she is not eligible for shock probation after her formal sentencing later this month, in which she's expected to receive 12 years behind bars. But Serenity's paternal grandma, Melody Roller, says that prison sentence simply isn't long enough.
When it comes to my granddaughter, there's no justice. There's no amount of time that anybody could serve that I would have any type of closure as far as that goes.
So there is this plea deal that the mother, Catherine McKinney, is taking, stating that she was not the offender that killed her daughter, but she was there. Basically, she's going to be doing some hard time over this. I believe possibly 12 years, and they're going to be using her for the prosecution against her boyfriend, Dakota Hill, which is the one that's accused of killing Serenity McKinney. So I'm just here trying to make heads or tails of all of this, and I was thinking, this is really kind of made a lot of stuff boil over in me about this case, because Serenity McKinney was one of those cases that she disappeared long before she was ever reported missing, and her mother still stayed with Dakota Hill even after her daughter was killed. And so there is some real anger issues that reside inside of me on this case, because you watched a man kill your daughter. You're stating that he's ultra abusive to you. You've never once called for help for yourself. You've never once called for help for your daughter. And then years later, your daughter is finally found in a suitcase on the side of the road. While I appreciate the help that Catherine McKinney provided the investigation, but how dare you?
Here's a closer look at the timeline of what we know happened to Serenity. Her grandparents saying they last saw her in December of 2020. Through the following year, they talked to her on the phone and told us Child Protective Services was involved in checking on her, welfare checks. Then, late last year, all communication was cut off between the family and Serenity's mother. Shortly afterwards, police arrested her and her mother's boyfriend for custodial interference. And then on Friday, the 18th of February, the heartbreaking discovery and charges of murder. The state is leading this investigation, but has never released the cause of death until now.
How dare you? She's trying to claim that she is a victim here when it comes to her daughter's case. But what other signs were provided that said she was a victim? Again, she never tried to get away from Dakota Hill. She never called law enforcement to try to help or save her daughter. She never called them or cooperated with them until way, way, way further into the process.
WHS 11's Taylor Woods is joining us in our newsroom now. And Taylor, what did the medical examiner say about how Serenity died?
Well, Doug, first, her death has been ruled a homicide. The autopsy report for Serenity McKinney reveals the suitcase she was found in was filled with sand and that she was deceased for some time. The report goes on to say McKinney had a fracture on her right arm and thigh bone. There were also parts of her remains that investigators could not find, and investigators were forced to identify Serenity by a dental analysis. Now, right now, the exact cause of her death is still unknown, and we talked to Serenity's grandmother, Melody Roller, and in a statement she said, quote, "I want people to remember her by her beautiful smile and not what these monsters did to her."
She lied and continuously lied to everybody she knew. So again, I just want to ask my audience, am I being too harsh on Catherine McKinney? Am I wrong for having and harboring these emotions about this case? Let me know your thoughts. If some of the commentary I provide is interesting to you, if it makes you think, if it's something that you like to hear more about, please consider liking and subscribing to my channel. We're just going over these cases, and as these things come up, I make videos here and there about them. But at the end of the day, this is one of the cases that we covered. This case has really caused emotional turmoil for me personally because of the information coming out about this case, the fact that we've covered it literally from the beginning of this case, and now we're kind of coming to the end, and there's been so many twists and turns, and we honestly believed that she was not going to be found again, and thank God they found her. They found her, and this baby angel will be able to rest at peace. But there's so much more to the story, and I just really would like to know what your thoughts are. God bless you, and please be kind to one another.